The casino floor pulsed with a cacophony of ringing slots and boisterous laughter, a vibrant tapestry of hope and greed. This was Las Vegas, a city of dreams, a city of mirages, a city built on the backs of broken hopes. The air was thick with anticipation. Every spin of the wheel, a prayer. Every pull of the lever, a gamble. The casino glittered, chrome and gold reflecting the eager faces. Cocktail waitresses weaved through the crowds, their smiles as fake as the promises whispered in the air. The scent of stale cigarette smoke and cheap perfume hung heavy, a heady mix of desperation and desire. The gamblers were oblivious, lost in their own private worlds of chance. Each one hoping for a miracle, each one praying for a win. Under the dazzling lights, a darkness lurked, a shadow cast by the desperation of lost souls. The clanging of coins masked the silent screams of despair. The flashing lights blinded the players to the truth that the house always wins, the truth that some bets cost more than money, the truth that some losses are irreversible, the truth that some games are rigged from the start. Amid the throng, an old man sat hunched, his eyes fixed on a particular slot machine, the Golden Pharaoh. Its lights blinked seductively, promising untold riches, whispering sweet nothings of jackpots and fortunes. He fed the machine his last dollar, his wrinkled hand trembling, his heart pounding in his chest. This was his last chance, his only hope, his final prayer. The old man watched the reels spin, his breath caught in his throat. For a moment, hope flickered. Then the symbol settled. 3 lemons. Nothing. He slumped back, defeated. His life savings gone, vanished into the insatiable maw of the machine. His shoulders shook with silent sobs, the weight of his loss crushing him. He had nothing left. The casino's vibrant energy mocked him. The laughter of other gamblers grated on his ears, their joy a stark contrast to his despair. He felt alone, abandoned, lost in a sea of indifference. He closed his eyes, wishing he could disappear, wishing he could undo his mistakes, wishing he had never come to this cursed city. The old man's mind raced. He saw his wife's disappointed face. He heard his children's pleading voices. He had promised them a better life, a life free from worry, a life of comfort and security. Now he had nothing to give them, only shame and disappointment. He had failed them. He had failed himself. He cursed the city. He cursed the casino. He cursed the machine. He poured all his bitterness and rage into a venomous whisper, a curse born of desperation, a curse that would linger long after he was gone, a curse that would feed on the weakness of others, a curse that would perpetuate his own tragic fate. "May you devour the souls of the weak," he croaked, his voice raspy with despair. "May you drain them of their hope. May you drive them to the same fate that awaits me." His words hung in the air, a chilling premonition of the horrors to come. The lights of the Golden Pharaoh flickered, as if acknowledging his curse, as if accepting his offering of despair. The old man rose unsteadily, his legs weak, his body trembling. He stumbled through the casino, a ghost among the living. He saw the faces of the gamblers, their eyes glazed over with greed, their hands twitching with anticipation. He saw himself in them. He saw the same desperation, the same blind hope, the same inevitable ruin. He reached the balcony overlooking the bustling strip. The city lights blurred through his tear-filled eyes. He felt a strange pull, a dark magnetism drawing him towards the edge. He closed his eyes, taking a deep breath of the desert air. One last breath of freedom, one last breath of life. With a final, silent sob, he plunged into the abyss, his body a broken vessel of despair, his spirit a twisted shadow of regret. The city lights twinkled indifferently, oblivious to the tragedy that had just unfolded, oblivious to the curse that had been unleashed. Section 4. Trapped Soul. The old man's spirit did not find peace. It was tethered to the casino, bound to the machine that had been his undoing. He watched as the Golden Pharaoh continued to spin, luring unsuspecting victims, feeding on their hopes and dreams. He saw the same pattern repeat itself over and over again. The excitement, the anticipation, the despair, the ruin. He became a part of the machine, his essence intertwined with its circuits and wires. He could influence the reels, manipulate the outcomes. He whispered to the gamblers, promising them riches, luring them deeper into the game. He preyed on the weak, the desperate, the lost. The casino became his hunting ground, the golden pharaoh his weapon. He watched as his victims spiraled into despair, their eyes mirroring his own hollow gaze, their voices echoing his own dying curse. He felt a perverse satisfaction, a twisted sense of revenge. He was no longer a victim, he was a predator. He was the embodiment of the casino's dark heart. He was the spirit of ruin, trapped in an endless cycle of despair, condemned to repeat his own tragedy through the lives of others. Section 5. Whispers of Fortune. A young woman approached the Golden Pharaoh, her eyes wide with hope, her pockets filled with borrowed money. She dreamed of a new life, a life free from poverty and hardship. She fed the machine $1, her hand trembling with anticipation. The old man's spirit whispered in her ear, "This is your chance. This is your lucky day." The reel spun, the symbols aligned. 2 cherries, a near miss. The old man whispered again, "Almost. Try again. You're so close." The woman reached for another $1, her heart pounding in her chest. She couldn't stop now. She was so close. The cycle repeated itself, dollar after dollar disappearing into the machine. The old man's whispers growing louder, more insistent. "Just one more spin. You'll win it all back. I promise." The woman's hope dwindled, replaced by a growing sense of dread. She emptied her pockets, her last $1 gone. The reel spun one final time. 3 lemons. Nothing. The old man's laughter echoed in her ears, a chilling, hollow sound. The woman slumped back, defeated, just like the old man before her. Section 6. The Cycle of Ruin. The young woman stumbled out of the casino, her eyes vacant, her soul crushed. She wandered the streets, lost and alone. The city lights mocked her, the same lights that had once beckoned her with promises of hope. Now, they were a reminder of her despair. She found herself on the same balcony where the old man had taken his final breath. She looked down at the bustling strip, the same abyss that had claimed his life. She heard his whispers in the wind, "Join me. End your suffering. There's no other way." With a heavy heart, she climbed onto the railing, tears streaming down her face. She closed her eyes, embracing the darkness. And then she jumped, her body falling into the abyss. Another victim claimed by the cursed machine. Another soul trapped in the cycle of despair. The Golden Pharaoh continued to spin, its lights blinking seductively, waiting for its next victim. The old man's spirit watched, a twisted smile on his spectral face. The cycle would continue. The curse would live on. A chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the glittering facade of Las Vegas. Beware the Golden Pharaoh, for its riches are an illusion and its price is your soul.